morning. It's 7 a.m. and now for the weather. The temperature today, a record 22 degrees below zero. That's 29 below with the wind chill factor. We're calling for 40 centimeters of snow by the day's end. So if you're driving into work, stay away from highway.
Should stay here and sleep all winter. Come to think of it, why can't I? Bears sleep all winter. Why can't we humans?
When a bear curls up in its den to go to sleep for the winter, its body temperature drops. Its respiration decreases, and its heart rate falls to only 8 beats per minute. It remains in this state for up to 7 months at a time. Why? To conserve energy during nasty winter weather when food supplies are scarce. So, what would happen if we tried it?
Severe weather warnings have been issued for the Southern Ontario region. Drivers are urged to leave their cars at home.
If I did spend all winter in bed, I'd probably need weeks of physiotherapy to regain my strength. And my bones would be all thin and brittle from not being used. If you don't believe me, ask your local astronaut.
In the weightlessness of space, astronauts can lose up to 2% of their total bone mass per month. It's called disuse osteoporosis. The bones act like a storage medium for calcium. The body constantly dips into the supply when it requires some and replaces what it takes as it gets it from the diet. But when the bones don't bear any weight, the body no longer replenishes the supply because it assumes none is needed. Long-term space travel would be much easier if astronauts just learned to be more like bears.
Bears have adapted to long spells of inactivity by continuing to grow bone tissue as they sleep. After a long winter, a bear can just hop up and trot away as if it had a 10-minute nap. 5 more minutes. Who's in there? One thing that gets us out of bed is the need to urinate. Hurry up. Urea can quickly build in the blood to toxic levels. If we went even a few days without urinating, we'd die. Bears, on the other hand, can go up to 7 months. How? They have the ability to reabsorb urine through the bladder and break up the toxins into nutrients that their bodies can use. Come on, hurry up. I don't know about you, but after snoozing for 6 months, I'd get mighty hungry. If I wanted to survive all winter without eating, I'd have to pack on about 13 kilograms of pure fat over the summer.
That's just what a bear does. Over the summer, it chows down like crazy and puts on a 5-inch layer of fat. Then it loses it again over the winter.
Perhaps this explains why we tend to get hungrier as the days get colder. Our ancestors instinctively grabbed whatever food they could in the fall to stock up on energy in the form of fat. We seem to have clung on to this instinct. Well, at least I have. You may be surprised to know that bears aren't considered true hibernators. During the winter, their body temperature drops about 9 degrees Celsius. This puts them in a zen-like state of watchful rest, but not true hibernation. A bear can wake up and avoid danger if disturbed. But a chipmunk drops its body temperature almost as low as its surroundings. This puts it in a death-like state, and it doesn't respond to any outside stimuli. This is considered true hibernation. Sounds good to me. 5 more minutes. Oh, it is freezing in here. This is the reason why we humans can't lower our body temperature like a chipmunk or a bear. Shivering is our body's natural defense against the cold. Shivering is an involuntary muscle spasm that produces heat. It kicks in whenever the temperature drops below a certain point. Just like the thermostat that turns on the furnace whenever the house gets cold. We humans have no control over our thermostats. They're stuck at 37 degrees Celsius. But when a bear or a chipmunk dozes off for the winter, it's able to adjust its body's thermostat to cool down without any problems. But if a human stayed out in the extreme cold for too long, all the shivering in the world won't help. You don't get back in the warmth, you have about 15 or 20 minutes before hypothermia sets in. Hey, guys, open up. That's when your blood and vital organs begin to decrease in temperature. It eventually leads to death by cardiac arrest. Hey, guys, let me in. Come on. But before you die, your heart slows to just 2 beats per minute. Your pulse and respiration become too faint to detect. You appear dead. Hey, that kind of sounds like hibernating to me. Hey, guys! Oh, it's about time. Check this out. Child survived being trapped underwater for an hour and a half. The child was able to survive because the water was extremely cold, 5 degrees Celsius. The child's brain and vital organs cooled down and didn't need much blood or oxygen. When our core temperature drops, we enter a state very much like hibernation.
Surgeons use this to their advantage when performing open-heart surgery. They cool a patient's body until hypothermia occurs. This slows the heart and vital organs down and prolongs the time they can be deprived of their normal blood supply. An anesthetic is used to disconnect the body's thermostat and prevent the shivering reflex. Further study of bears and chipmunks may one day permit astronauts to endure extended space flights in a state of hibernation. But at the moment, this is only science fiction. So far, the latest technology and know-how has only been able to nudge the human body into a hibernation-like state for a couple of hours at a time. Unfortunately, for the time being, we don't have what it takes to truly hibernate. Too bad. Think of all the money we'd save on heating bills and no driveways to shovel. Even though we'd like to stay in bed all winter, we have to get up and face the music.